All right, there we are. Welcome, everybody, to episode 170 of the CosCast. Yay! I am your main host, as always, Anita, and with me I have my lovely co-hosts.
Antonia.
Yes, and we are also joined by the lovely Ravenstar cosplay today. Hello!
Hi guys. Hello.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So as you guys might have seen from the title of this episode, today we're going to be talking about body positivity with Ravenstar. But before we do, we're just going to do, some chores, things we have to do before we get properly started. So first of all, we have to say that today's live stream has been sponsored by our wonderful sponsor, Ronin Energy Drinks. Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Yes, good job, Sunniva. Antonia. So Ronin is a new brand of energy drinks. They've been sold at conventions, but they're not yet available in stores, as far as I know. So it's very exclusive, totally. So we just want to say thank you to our sponsors for sponsoring us with energy drinks to keep us going and energized during this late Sunday live stream. All right. So for people who haven't watched us before, we are the CosCast. We are a cosplay and geek culture talk show. And we live stream every other Sunday here on Twitch, this particular talk show. And we also live stream art streams, game streams, and other kinds of streams, and make YouTube videos over on our YouTube channel, which you can find at the CosCast.
Yes.
Both on YouTube and on Instagram, and I think we're on Twitter, but we never use it because I hate Twitter. So.
Statement.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. So, but maybe, Ravenstar, do you want to, introduce yourself a little bit before we move into our segments and stuff?
Sure. Hi guys. Hi everyone. My name's Raven. I'm 32 years old. Live in the Netherlands. I've been cosplaying for, oh my god, over 10 years now. I'm officially a cosplayer.
Nice.
And when I'm not making costumes or doing geeky stuff, I am a body positive professional, which means that I help mostly women who are struggling with food and or their bodies.
That sounds like a challenging job to have, to be honest.
It's for me, it's really awesome. I struggled myself for the longest time. For most of my life, I really didn't like my body. I've had an eating disorder. I've been really, really struggling, and I managed to find my way out of that in the past couple of years. And when I realized I could actually get an education and help other women overcome the things that I overcame, hopefully a bit quicker, a bit faster, with a bit more help, which I would have really appreciated that, but it wasn't around when I was trying to recover and do all these things. So for me, that was like a major reason to start doing this and help other people out.
It sounds really great. Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds noble.
It's I would never call myself noble, because let's be real, I'm also trying to make money doing that, which maybe lessens nobility a bit, but I do try to spread a lot of information and talk about this stuff and host lectures, and super important to me because I used to struggle so much, and it's really hard to talk about when you really struggle, or when you're binge eating or emotional eating. That it's easy for me now to talk about it, and I feel like I should do that so that it becomes easier for other people too.
Yeah, it's kind of like with mental health or any other issues that people are going through. Like, when you're going through it, it's super hard, but once you start talking and you just keep on talking, it just becomes easier over time.
Yeah, because you feel so alone when you're right in there. It's the same, like you say, with mental health, depression. Like, if you're suffering from that, it feels like you're the only person suffering like this, and it feels like nobody understands what you're going through. And while your unique trouble definitely to you, so many people understand, but it's just scary to talk about.
Yeah. So before we move into like talking more about this very interesting subject, I figured we will talk a little bit about cosplay. And first of all, cosplay progress. Have we been working on anything cosplay related during Christmas or the past few weeks? I can say Tonya is already like, no, I have not.
No, I have not. But I don't have anything to show right here, but I am still crocheting those little squares that I'm making into a small baby blanket for a friend of mine who's going to have a baby soon. So at least that is making something, but for cosplay progress, no. I am currently struggling a little bit with my back, which makes, those kinds of positions that you place yourself in while you sew or do stuff a little bit challenging right now.
I feel you so hard. Like I think I can do like maybe 1-2 hours tops of crafting, and then I am like dead.
Yeah,
I'm an old lady.
I don't have those issues yet, but for me it's more of a downtime with cosplay. But I do other creative stuff like draw fan art and stuff like that. But
yeah, you've been very productive when it comes to drawing.
Yes,
that's really cool. It's fun to watch.
No, I mean, I bought some belts. I found some belts on sale at H&M, and they were perfect because I really want to do a cosplay from the new Vampire the Masquerade game that's coming out this year, Bloodlines 2. Because the Tremere is just appealing to my gothic like aesthetics. Like, it's giving me all the good vibes. So I really want to make it. So I have a wig and I have, bits and pieces. I just need to start making a pattern and finding fabric for the actual dress. So you just, got to get that stuff started. But I'm hopeful that I'll actually be able to craft something proper soon.
Yes.
It's been a while since I made something. All right. Same. So, yeah.
What about you, Ravenstar? Have you been
making anything or doing anything?
I have, actually. I'm working on... Have you guys seen The Dark Crystal on Netflix?
Yes.
I'm working on one of Celadon's dresses. I kind of don't want to spoil it, but if you've seen it, that dress. There is a particular dress that she wears, and I was like, ugh.
I've been watching your progress.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. With the sleeves and everything. So,
yes, they're so poofy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just like making tiny stuff and putting shiny thread on everything and beads on everything, and it's gonna take me 3 years of my life, but it's probably worth it.
I felt the same when I was doing Arwen's dress, like the blue one.
Oh God, yeah.
There was so much embroidery on that thing, but it was kind of like therapeutic, almost like mindfulness-y. Like
yes, I love embroidery.
Yeah, it's just so peaceful.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. In the chat, Kanuto Cosplay says that I am working on blue armor in leather. Everything is dumb, but it looks good.
I mean, why not?
Hashtag every game armor for anyone ever. Look, it's just.
And also, I see Cosplay Studio says, "Oh my god!" And I think it's because of the Dark Crystal thing, because I know that he really enjoyed the Dark Crystal.
I cried watching that. It's just so beautifully made. Like, my creative heart just starts crying.
I mean,
so
Jim
pretty.
Henson and puppets, and it's magic. Like, it's magic. Yes. All right, so Lucia Farah says that, hell yeah, Dark Crystal. And Cosplay Studio says, hoping to get a Dark Crystal shoot this season. So, hey, if you come to Norway, you
fly
know
me
someone...
over.
You got it.
Let's go.
Joker's Funhouse Videos says, cosplay is always strange in the creating phase, but in the end, it always looks amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can't see the inside of the cosplay.
It's the 5-foot rule.
Yeah. Pretty much. It looks amazing from 5 feet away. Just don't get too close.
Good enough. If you live through a convention and it hasn't fallen off, success.
Yes. Cosplay approved.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the same thing with making food as well. Like, I enjoy when other people make food for me, because then I don't really taste everything, because I don't know everything that's put in it, you know? And I have the same feeling with cosplay, because I know everything that's on my own cosplay. I know every mistake and I know what everything is. But when everyone else does it, I'm like, it looks amazing! I don't see any of, you know, the wrongs or the mistakes during the thing.
I think everyone feels that way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll shut down cosplay progress then for this time and just quickly head into news from the geek and cosplay community. I'm not going to go through every item on the list because I have a fair few items on the list. I'm just going to post the entire one on Facebook so you guys can head on over there and read it once the show is over. But I will mention that there is a new Norwegian cosplay convention called Nordicon, which is on the rise. They haven't released much info except that the date is the 19th to the 21st of June this year, and they are featuring Tina Sofia Ries, which is a Norwegian cosplay. Yeah, Tina Maria. I was thinking Sofia and Maria. Tina Maria Ries. In their banners and stuff, so that's interesting. I'm very interested in seeing where this is going to be, because it's kind of in the same time slot as DesuCon used to be before.
Interesting.
Like the end of June-ish. So DesuCon was one of the bigger conventions in Norway, but they shut down a few years back. So nothing has taken its space in the meantime. So maybe this is an attempt to do that, but I don't know. So I will be leaving a link to their Facebook page so people can check it out. I'll post a link to you later. Also, it's been announced that Cyberpunk 2077 has been postponed for 6 more months. I know a lot of people are salty about that.
Yeah, a lot of people are, but at least I think it's good. Like, if the game is not done, get it done, make it perfect, and then release it. It's like...
It's that Miyamoto quote, right? A rushed game is bad, and a delayed game is forever good. I know there's somebody in the chat going like, no, she's got it all wrong.
Someone probably
let people take the time to finish stuff. Ugh, why be mad if they're not breaking themselves?
Yeah.
You'll play it.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I feel the same way. Like, better to postpone than have an awful game. Bloodlines 2 was also supposed to be released in the first quarter of 2020, but has been moved back to the second quarter of the year. So, you know, it is what it is.
It is.
I've still pre-ordered it. Had to.
Like, it would have mattered if you had, you know, put up, like, vacation from your job for... whenever it was supposed to be released.
I would have been salty if that had been the case, but I am on sick leave, so every day is, you know, an off day, basically. Yeah. It gets boring. Let's see. Canuto says, rather that than the No Man's Sky situation. Shots fired.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. I haven't played No Man's Sky, but I know a lot of people were super hyped about that game, and when it came, it was kind of like, meh.
Yeah.
You know? So, I totally get you. That it's better this way. Let's see. Oh, also, there is a change in customs regulations coming up in Norway, which pretty much everyone knows about, which is... making it more expensive, basically, to buy services and products from abroad. If you want really good, detailed information about how this is going to affect you as a cosplayer, there is a post in one of the Norwegian cosplay forums on Facebook where Kenneth Cosplay Photography has taken the effort to explain what this means for all the cosplayers out there. So you should head on over there and check it out if you haven't already and you want to know how these new regulations affect you. I will leave a link to that as well on our Facebook page.
Cool.
Yes. And just a very, very local bit of news is that on Tuesday this week, I will be hosting a club night at my local Norwegian Cosplay Association branch. So anyone who is in Eidsvoll and wants to come around and just hang out and play board games and stuff, you are very welcome to do so. There is an event up on Facebook. I will, of course, link to that as well. But I hope if any locals are watching, you come join us because it's going to be really nice. All right.
Awesome.
That's it. That's all of the housekeeping for today. So let's go into the main theme of the evening, which is body positivity and
kroppspositivitet.
Yes, kroppspositivitet.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, because it sounded right on. I mean.
Oh, okay, good. I was.
Thank you to Tabitha for liking the stream, and hello, by the way, to all of you new viewers who haven't been here before. We're so happy that you could join us, and please follow our channel. That would be amazing. And also follow Ravenstar and her body positive living, which I'm going to get into more. But first, I thought we would show people watching some pictures of some of your previous cosplays.
Oh, okay.
Just so they can get to know you a little bit. Let's see. So I'm just gonna... Yeah, there we have it. So the first one up is a Critical Role cosplay that we're gonna share with you all, and it's a Keyleth cosplay. No, not Keyleth. I mean Vexalia.
Oh yeah.
Got them confused for a second. There we go. I'm just gonna make the image a little bit bigger on screen. I forgot to do that before we started, so I'm sorry about that. It's very unprofessional of me. There we go. Now it looks good. Yes, so this is Vexalia. This was taken by Griffinic Photography.
I think Vexalia was Mirabelle.
Was it?
Yeah, maybe
Vex is Mirabelle. Yes, Vax and Keyleth are Griffinic. Sorry. My bad. But yes, that's Mirabelle. So I just love all of the hydrangeas that are in the background. They're so pretty.
Yeah, we were in the prettiest garden shooting that.
Yeah.
Did you have an assistant to like hold out your cloak?
Yes. Yes. I had a professional cape flapper on set. Tico was really, really kind, flapping my cape all day and helping me out. And otherwise, it was just me going, floating my arms in the air and being like. Through the years, I learned to flip my own cape.
So awkward on shoots. Like, don't mind us.
Yeah, I feel like right now it's one of my secret talents is being my own hair and capes. And then quick pose, yeah.
Practice makes perfect, I guess.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect. All right, let's see. Next one up is Alloy, which was shot by Be Happy Photography.
Oh, yeah. I love Aloy. Aloy is like...
Yes.
Aloy. It's my heart. I made that costume back in 2015.
Oh, wow. That's a long time
ago.
It's
been... I remade the top because the 2015 one didn't fit me anymore. Because it's been that long. But I was watching the PlayStation reveal at E3, and I always stay up. It airs like, same for you guys, like 2, 3 a.m. at night, but I always stay up because I saw the trailer and I was like, who is she? Who is this girl? I want to be her. I love her. Can I marry her? Can I play this game? And the next day I had like 15 tabs open on working with leather and how do lace front wigs work, and yeah.
You were just down the rabbit hole just from the
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's been that costume especially has been really crazy. I managed to get in touch with really kind people at Guerrilla Games who were developing the video game. They're a Dutch company, so they were close by.
All right.
And
that's very
I got
practical.
to do it was so awesome. And I got to do a lot of really cool and amazing stuff because they were really kind to me. So this costume, for many reasons, will always have a special place in my heart.
I get that. You look great as Alloy.
Oh, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. There we go. The next one is Keyleth. So this is by Griffinic.
Yes.
Yes. You look so happy.
In my mind, is right before she yells, "We are golden gods," and throws a cliff. In my mind, this is right before the goldfish moment.
Yeah, hence all the gold sparkles in the background.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it just made me. I wasn't sure if I could. If I usually do more badass, sexy characters, and Keyleth is very badass, but very much not a sexy character.
Yeah, she's awkward.
I love that. Yeah, so right now there's a lot of photos where I'm with when everybody's posing and being a badass, and I'm standing there doing an awkward wave, like, "Hey, I'm Keyleth. Hi." But I love her. I've grown to love her season so much. She grew on me. So much.
She's a character that grows on you a little bit.
Yes.
I wasn't her biggest fan to begin with, but I
me
like
neither,
her.
To be honest. No, me neither. And then the whole Raishan arc happened. I was like, oh my god, I love you. I'm so sorry I misjudged you.
Yes.
You're awesome.
I take back all the horrible things I said.
I was an idiot. Please forgive me.
Maybe I should give season 1 another chance.
Maybe. I mean, my favorite has always been and will always be Percy. I can't help it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a mood.
My cat's name is also Percy.
Oh, that's perfect.
And he has like silvery white fur.
Too perfect. Too perfect.
Yes, too perfect. He's too precious. He's such a dork. So,
which is in character.
Very much in character. Very much so. Okay, last shot, which is Vaxeldon, also from Critical Role. You've done a lot of Critical Role. I haven't done any yet.
I know. It completely took over my life a couple of years ago. And for me, Vaxeldon was always my mostly because he's a bisexual male, and we don't see that a lot in media. And I don't know, are you guys still there? Because I'm...
Oh, yeah, we're here.
Technical hiccup.
Let's hope it's nothing bad.
It might be a bug. I've experienced it several times on Discord before. Like one of the people in the chat or the people in the call suddenly doesn't hear anyone else. So it might be the bug. It works to just log in and out again. So
yeah,
just send her a message to just hang up and then answer again.
Yeah. Oh, there are a lot of comments in the chat. Let's see. Can
you guys hear me again?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was lost there for a second.
Yeah. No, but you're here. You're here.
Okay, cool.
Lucia Ferra says, "Critical hit to my geeky heart." And Joker's Funhouse says, "Wow, Raven."
Yeah. Trust your friend Stefan over you.
Yes. Thank you for commenting in the chat, guys. You're so sweet.
Yes, you are.
Frosttimes doesn't really know Critical Role. She hasn't listened to it or watched it yet, which you totally should do.
It's cool.
Yes, it is cool.
It might take over your life.
It might, but then again, she has a son, and I think it's 5 cats at this point, so she already has a lot of life on lockdown. Let's see. Yeah, Sir Chunks explains that the character jumped off a cliff, Keyleth, and turned into a goldfish.
Yep. And then died anyway. Yeah.
It's very sad.
Or really funny.
Kanuto Cosplay says, "Twitch, bisexual? Cut them off!"
Okay, bye.
Bye. Oh well. But we persevere. Twitch is not YouTube, so
true.
At least not yet. All right. Sunniva, maybe you want to just take us into the main portion of the show now where we talk about body positivity and ask Ravenstar lots of awkward questions.
I will do that. I was trying to figure out
Bring it.
to say, but it didn't work.
No.
But I'm wondering, because you talked a little bit about when you started cosplaying, but how did you get into cosplay, and how long have you been doing it?
Right. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a grandma talks story.
It's fine.
Because back in my days, kiddies, when I started, there were no wig stores, there was no Warbler, none of that was around. It was around 2009 that I first went to a fantasy fair, which is like what the Americans call Ren fairs. And I was walking around and I saw all these people dressed up, wearing amazing costumes and looking really awesome. And for the first hour that I was there, I was like, these people are all kind of crazy. I'm kind of scared. What's going on? This is a bit weird, especially because I live in Holland, and one of our proverbs is "It's awful, but it's act normal." That's crazy enough. So there's very much an emphasis on not standing out, on not being different, on fitting in the mold, and I never did any of those things.
Norway has been like that for a big part of our history too, so we totally understand
really?
where you're coming from. Yeah.
Well, then you get it. Yeah, so I was walking around there, and at first I thought it was kind of weird, and then I realized how much fun these people were having, and how awesome they looked, and how cool their costumes looked, and then I was like, if I would dress up, who would I dress up as? Yeah. And the first thing that came to mind was a video game character. Fantasy 10.
Ooh. What happened?
Costume.
It's a bit of a lag.
Yeah, it was a lag. We just got a lag, but it fixed itself. Yeah. But you
have to. Yeah.
You just repeat the thing about the first thing that came to mind was a video game character.
Right, it was a video game, and the first costume that I made was Yuna from Final Fantasy X-2. And actually, a friend's mom made the costume for me because I didn't know how to sew. And then I was so excited, and I wanted to do more, and I was like, well, I guess I'm learning how to sew. And then I started making costumes, and now it's 11 years later, and
here you are.
Things got out of hand, yeah. And here we are.
No, but, I mean, we didn't know how to sew when we started either. You are looking at a person who once managed to sew herself to her own pants.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
So
I think we've all done stuff like that.
You're in a good crowd.
Yes, I feel right at home.
Yeah. But has cosplay ever influenced how you feel about your body and yourself in positive or negative way?
Oh God, yes. I started cosplaying in 2009, but I didn't start sharing my costumes online until 2015, I think. Because I was very scared. Back then, the worst thing someone could tell me was that I was fat. Like, that was the worst thing that people could throw at me. And I was so scared of posting pictures of myself online that people would be like, oh, look, it's a fat Harley Quinn, or it's a fat Aloy, or it's a fat something. And at the time, that was the worst imaginable thing that could happen to me. So that kept me from actually posting stuff. But in the end, my desire to share stuff, and I didn't see a lot of girls cosplaying who had my body type. And I figured, okay, if I don't see them around, maybe I have to be that person and be one of the first, so that others can look at me and be like, hey, okay, she's kind of chubby and she's doing all these things. Maybe I can too, you know? So for me, that was like the reason to start sharing. And I do feel that the more pictures you see of yourself and the more you start to get used to yourself and your body in different angles, and it's kind of like an exposure thing, right? Yeah. What they do if you're scared of spiders and they slowly expose you to spiders. It sounds really weird, but if you're having a really bad relationship with your body, exposing yourself to your body from different angles, from different point of views, and not just like the really flattering one.
Yeah, no, I've done a little bit of that in the past. I think I got up on one of our live streams at one point, like years ago, and just flashed my stomach to everyone watching.
Ooh.
Yeah, you did that.
I did that. Yeah. because we were talking about body positivity back then as well, and like accepting yourself. And it's so important, like what you're saying is that you have to get used to seeing yourself in different ways and in a positive light. And like when we started with cosplay, I had a very morphed view of how big my body was. I felt like I was huge, and I've lost a little bit of weight since then, but not that much. But when we started making patterns for ourselves and like cutting them up, and I looked at them and like, I'm tiny, like, compared to what the mental image I had of myself in my own head, the pattern in front of me was tiny. So it was kind of like one of the wake-up calls I've gotten throughout the years that, you are not what you think you are necessarily.
Yeah. We're our own worst critics.
Yes.
Yeah, we are. Like,
even now, I still, when I get a picture back and I'm like, what is my face doing? What am I doing? One of those pictures, and I'll show it to my friends and I'm like, hey, this looks kind of weird to me. Does it look weird to you? And 9 out of 10 times they're like, no, you look perfectly fine. I'm like, okay, cool, I'm posting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel so outed.
I think we all do that because nobody is as critical of you're your own worst critic, and that translates to the way we talk to ourselves in our heads as well, right? Because the way I used to talk to myself, if I would hear someone talk that way to my little sister, for example, whom I love very, very much, I would probably get physical. Yes. But it's okay for me to talk that way to myself.
Oh yeah.
Even though I would never talk that way to somebody else or talk that way to somebody that I love.
No, you wouldn't. I
mean, weird.
Sometimes I tell my husband the things that are going on in my head, the things I say to myself, and he gets mad. He yells at me like, "Why the fuck would you say something like that to yourself? I wouldn't even say it to another person. Why
That's my wife you're talking about."
Yeah. And I mean, he's direct. Yeah. He will say a lot of shit that some people think are inappropriate. So him saying that I wouldn't even say that to someone else is like, okay, I know I'm crazy. This is a me problem.
I wouldn't call it crazy per se though, because I think it's something everybody recognizes.
Yes.
Like, this is what we do, and that's not necessarily like it's something we can change.
Yes.
But it's something so many of us do.
Yeah, I really like your way of handling it though. Like you get a picture, you ask someone else, can I post this or no? Just taking that small step, because that's what we need, baby steps. You don't have to go from A to Z at the first opportune moment ever. The baby steps, and
it does grow. Like there were times where I would show every picture to my friends first. And now I only do it if I'm feeling particularly insecure, or if I'm just not sure about something. Like I haven't lost my insecurities at all, but they can get less prevalent and get less out there.
Yeah.
So those are the small steps and the small changes that we make, by working on it.
Yeah.
Totally get that.
Absolutely. What is body positivity, though? And why do you think it is so important?
So body positivity right now is a term that gets thrown about a lot. I compare it to, I don't know if you guys ever played that game when you were kids, when you had to sit in a circle and whisper something to the person sitting next to you, and then they would whisper it back, and probably at the end of the chain, you get a different word or phrase back than what you said. And I feel like that's what's happening with body positivity because it's so out there. It's such a common thing now. But it actually originated in the fat liberation movement, where fat, mostly Black women, were fighting for equal opportunity. Because it's never, in not a single country in the United States is it illegal to discriminate against fat people.
Yeah.
So they were like standing up against fat bias in medical health, in professional work. And body positivity kind of grew from that. And there are many different people with many different definitions. But if you ask me, body positivity is about learning and accepting that all bodies are good bodies, regardless of health. And that last part for me is a very important addendum, because there's a lot of people saying, oh, body positivity is great as long as you're healthy. And I get that, I do, but there's just it's kind of ableist. There are so many people who are. I'm chronically ill. I have endometriosis, so I'll never be healthy. But does that mean that I don't get to feel good in the skin that I'm in, or that you get to treat me differently just because I'm not healthy?
Yeah, exactly. No, I
and
totally
it's often
get what you
yeah.
mean. I have a fibromyalgia myself, which is a chronic. So, my body doesn't always cooperate, but that doesn't mean that I can't try to, operate as normally as possible.
Yes. Yeah, it's you exclude people who will for some reason never be healthy, and it's often secretly a way to say it's a different way of saying body positivity is okay as long as you're not too fat. And there is no weight limit to body positivity.
No, there's not. Not really.
No.
I mean, it's all about, being comfortable in your own skin. Although, I mean, health is important too, of course, but that's a separate issue from body positivity, I suppose.
I think health is very important. I think the problem is that we think that health and weight are the same thing. And that a fat person is automatically unhealthy and that a thin person is automatically healthy, which is just so much of an oversimplification that I can't even fully get into it. But yeah, needless to say that health is just not the same as weight, and we should allow people to feel good in their skin regardless of their physical health.
Yeah. Joker's Funhouse says, post all the pictures. You are all beautiful. Oh, that's so sweet. And yes, everyone should post all the pictures because everyone is beautiful in their own way. Jokers also says, I hear a snoring dog on stream. Yes, that is Sunniva's pug, grandpa, or Murfar.
Murfar.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Also, I'm going to mention this just in case people haven't caught on. If you have questions for Raven, or if you have any comments or anything you want to share, just feel free to do so in the chat. We will be keeping an eye on it as we talk. And Canuto says that give your inner voice a dumb voice, like Karen Smith or Heather Duke. So when that voice comes up, you can just say, "Shut up, Heather."
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. I like it. I once played a D&T character, which was Janet from accounting. She was super annoying.
Oh my god, yes. Perfect.
Yeah. So I envisioned, like, if I were to give my inner mean voice a name, it would be Janet from accounting. Shut up, Janet.
Right.
No one cares.
Yeah.
Then I guess mine would have been Emily Payne.
Yeah, that's that's a vampire character.
Oh, okay.
My vampire character, which is a sadistic perfectionist bitch.
That sounds like an inner voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very much so. Oh, let's see. Sir Chunks has you spent 100 points on our stream. Thank you. And it says no questions, just carry on being amazing.
That's sweet.
Very sweet.
Yes.
I will keep an eye on everything so that see.
On everyone's amazing.
Yes.
I'm going to move on to the next question, though, on our list of questions. And this is a long one. Yeah. And we've probably talked a little bit about this already, but still, I'm going to ask the question anyway. A lot of people feel insecure because of unrealistic body and beauty standards, both within and outside of the cosplay community. What are your thoughts on this, and how does one deal with it?
Right. Well, first of all, if you feel that way, if you feel like you can't cosplay a certain character because you think your body type isn't right, I feel you. I've been there. But it's like, I think most of that criticism comes from people outside of the cosplay community. This is so cute. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah, no, sorry, because we have this channel point thing. They can spend like 350 channel points, and then we have to do a costume change, so...
Really?
Yes.
I got my hats ready.
Oh, this is wonderful. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I'm sorry. Continue. It's our fault.
It's not our fault. It's your fault.
No, yeah, it's Frostheim's fault to
Loyal
be specific. But also, just before you continue, shout out to GoldenEye, Robert Johannesson, Sir Chunks, Cap Chris, and Joker's Funhouse for following our channel during the stream so far. We really appreciate it, and welcome to the Fandorkable family. All right, continue.
Right. But yeah, I feel like a lot of that criticism comes from outside of the cosplay community. It's usually people who don't necessarily understand the hobby and feel the need to criticize everything, which happens a lot. But there are also big cosplayers telling you you have to look a certain way or that they have to diet in order to do a character justice. And I personally encourage everyone to do whatever they like and cosplay whatever they like. And like, it doesn't have to stop you. I'm a fat Aloy, and I did an ad campaign for a museum being the official Aloy, having a lot of fun in my costume. Like, you don't have to look a certain way to be a character. And I always say, if you get to live to be 80 years old and you look back on your life, what's going to be the thing that you're most proud of? What are the things that you're going to remember? Right? And it's probably going to be amazing memories doing fun stuff with friends and not that meal that you skipped or that time you took a salad when you really wanted fries. Like, exactly. in the long run, those things don't necessarily matter. No. And I know what it's like to have body hang-ups, and if you're uncomfortable in a costume, don't wear it. Like, you don't have anything to prove to anyone. But please, please, please don't think you can't cosplay a certain character because your body isn't right. Because at the end, we're all just trying to emulate pixels on screen, or lines drawn on screen, or people who train with very professional trainers and dietitians.
I mean,
just be you.
Those characters aren't real, and they weren't meant to be. So.
Oh.
I also think that, like, a lot of the social media and like Instagram and the easy access of trolls basically kind of makes it a little bit scary for people posting photos, or especially when you are it's so easy to get comments that you don't appreciate.
Yes.
And I think that is probably a lot of the reason why people feel insecure and have unrealistic body and beauty standards now.
Because of bad...
What?
That people have bad... sorry, I missed a bit because my internet connection was lagging. But you said that getting bad comments leads to bad body image?
Maybe it might be, like especially with social media and pictures you see people post, and the easy access of face tuning and body tuning and all of that stuff.
Yes.
And
I feel like one of the easiest thing we can do to protect our mental health is to be very careful of who we're following on social media.
Yeah.
Because we see so many images every day coming at you, and it's important that the things that you see are things that make you happy. So if you're following someone who keeps recommending diets and they make you feel insecure, or even if it's someone just doing her own thing, but you keep comparing your body to hers and it makes you uncomfortable, unfollow.
Yeah.
Your mental health always wins above every other demand that people might have of you. So it's important to be careful.
Yeah, I actually recently did a purge on my Instagram because I read a post by a Norwegian influencer called The Cherry Garden. And she basically said that one of her New Year's resolutions was to unfollow every single account on Instagram that made her feel in one way or the other smaller or lesser or bad, or, and just not follow those people. And so I thought that was really good advice. So I've actually started doing that. Like, this person makes me feel bad about myself. What?
How have you been feeling since you made that decision?
Well,
Do you notice any changes?
I only made that change like a couple of days ago. so it's very recent. But it's just sitting there and choosing to, like, actively making that choice and unfollowing people was kind of, like, liberating in a small way. Like, I get to choose what I get to see, what I want to follow, what my creative input is going to be, and I don't need you in my life. Goodbye, you know? So it was kind of nice, actually, to just be able to do that. So it's very good advice that you're giving.
Thank you.
In my opinion.
But I think it's,
we have some comments. Let's see. Frostheim says that things that aren't real are making people have very unrealistic expectations. Yes, and even Kylie Jenner body tunes herself, so remember that. Lucia Farah says, I took myself away from the cosplay part in my own life because it honestly created only stress and negative feelings for me. I still love cosplay and want to go to cons, but my mental health needed a timeout from the pressure I created for myself.
Yeah.
Totally understand that.
For taking care of your mental health and choosing your own. Good job.
Yeah, because it's okay to love something and not actively participate in it, you know? Completely okay.
Yeah, take breaks.
Let's see, Joker wants to know, Raven, how would you deal with negative comments and what is your advice on this?
Right. It's hard because there are still days when comments can really get to me. I'm not immune to any of it. My usual response is to block and ignore. Just because someone is looking to get a rise out of you and they probably want to ruin your day, they're unhappy, they feel the need to ruin your day, and starting a conversation won't make it better. Trying to educate 9 out of 10 times won't make it better. So what I usually do is block and just get rid of these people. My Twitter block list is very, very long because there are a lot of stupid people on Twitter. Yes. And one of the other things I can recommend is that if there are any words that you're very scared of, for me it was the word fat, try to reclaim it and see what that feels like for you. The queer community has been doing that for a very long time. And I mean, queer literally used to mean strange and weird. And now there's a lot of LGBTQI plus kids calling themselves queer. Because once you take the words they try to use to hurt you for yourself, it cannot be used to hurt you anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I've started to use the word fat quite a lot because I don't want it to mean anything bad anymore. It used to mean lazy and ugly and undesirable and not a lot of bad things.
Yeah.
It doesn't anymore because it's just that. It's the amount of fat I have on my body. That's it. And I don't want that word to have so much power over me.
Yeah,
so I started using it.
It's very dangerous when words get put on a pedestal and they are not allowed to use ever by anyone, because then they become the scary thing that you are afraid of.
Yeah, you're giving it's like Voldemort, he who shall not be named, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, if it feels comfortable for you, I often call myself a queer fat creator because I don't want those words to hurt.
No.
And I find power and pride. But apart from that, block. Please just block people who are mean to you. You don't owe anyone anything. Block away.
Yeah.
And talk to your friends about it.
That's important. Let's see. Wait, I'll take time for one more. Ryudai says, for me, I've seriously almost dropped out of Instagram besides occasionally looking at posts, as for some reason seeing my friends being happy sometimes makes me feel unhappy. So instead of unfollowing them for no good reason, I ended up just not exposing myself to it as much anymore. It's very sad, honey, but we love you, and that's okay. You can take a break. And sometimes we feel unhappy when our friends are happy because we wish we could be that happy ourselves, you know? And sometimes we just have bad days or bad weeks or months or years, and that's okay. You just have to do you.
Yeah. And I also think that if you focus too much on looking at Instagram and all the pretty pictures and all the happy pictures, you get the sensation that others are more happy than you because you only see the happy times.
Yeah.
So
80% of life is not what it looks like on Instagram, pretty much.
Instagram is a highlight reel for most people.
Yes, pretty much. Unless you do like us and sometimes post the ugliest pictures we can find of ourselves just for fun. Yeah. There are a lot of people writing in the chat today. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of feels, I guess, on this theme.
Definitely. But maybe we should just do a little bit more questions.
Yes.
Then go back to the chat.
We can go back to the chat afterwards. Just continue with the script.
Yes.
I will keep an eye on it.
Yes, you can make notes.
Yes.
So you quit your job and started your own business called Body Positive Living. What has that process been like?
Oh boy. Super brutal honesty hour. It's been the scariest thing I have done in my life. I was one of the 4 owners of a very successful translation company. We translated video games from English to Dutch, and we had a lot of work. And I quit doing that to start doing this, and it's been the scariest thing I've ever done. I don't have as many clients as I would like to have. I would love for my business to take off more, and I've spent so many nights worrying if I made the right decision, if I should just go back to my regular job. And it's been really scary. It's been really awesome. Like, I've got to do a lot of awesome things and talk to a lot of people, and I love what I do, and I feel like what I do matters, and that it's something that, given enough time, I could actually be kind of good at. But oh man, it's been so scary. It's been so scary. Leaving everything behind, starting something new, starting from scratch. It's the scariest personal thing I've done in my life. I would love to say, like, oh, it's been a dream and it's been awesome. And then my friends would be like, she lies.
But I mean, I don't remember where it's from, but someone at some point said that everything in life that is worth doing is hard.
Yes, it's true. I wish it wasn't true, but it's so true.
True. I wish that too. Preaching to the choir.
All the really cool stuff is outside, and that's just what it is. And to be honest, I was not happy in the translation. There was so much stress. I was really overworked. I loved what I did, but it was really, really busy. And this feels like a better choice. But there are times where I'm like, oh God, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What have I done? What's happening? Like the full existential crisis. It's not weekly anymore, but it still happens.
It's good. It's good. It's progress, is what it is.
Yes. Progress is very good. And I really do hope that things work out for you to the point where you can, just say to yourself, like, this is my path in life.
I'd love that. For now, I am too stubborn to stop.
Stubbornness is sometimes a very good thing.
As soon as I'm not stubborn anymore, I might stop.
Yes. So, but what services do you offer, and who do you think would benefit from them?
Well, 90% of my business is helping mostly women in one-on-one coaching. I help women who are unhappy with their bodies, who spend a lot of time thinking about negative thoughts about their bodies or about food, or women who struggle with emotional eating or binge eating, or who eat a lot more than they want to and then feel really sad and miserable about it after. And I focus on helping them restore the relationship with their body first, so they can feel a bit more at peace, start looking at themselves, start accepting themselves, not necessarily loving themselves, because sometimes that's just a bridge too far. But start accepting yourself, finding some peace, finding out what's really important to you, and then healing your relationship with food, not with diets or with crazy weight loss schemes, but through learning to listen to your body again and finding balance again. Because I personally think that in the long run, that's what will keep you the most grounded. What works the best in the long run, if you're not doing crazy diets, but if you're just learning to trust your body again, listen to your body again, you'll find a balance where you don't have to think about these things as often anymore.
That sounds very good, indeed. But do you have some good advice to give to people who want to become more comfortable with their own body but don't know where to begin?
One of the things I always mention is what I briefly talked about before as well, the social media diet. It's the only diet I will ever recommend you to go on. But start looking at the accounts that you see every day and try to notice how they make you feel. And are these people trying to sell you something? And if so, why? And what are they gaining from giving you a specific message? And I can really advise going through your social media a bit critical, figuring out if that influencer who keeps selling you detox teas really wants what's best for you, if it's really feeling good for you to see that message every day or to see that person every day. So that's one of the easiest things you can do. Like the next time you're going through your social media, just briefly ask yourself with every account, like the Marie Kondo thing, like, you know, Marie Kondo, the Japanese
does it spark joy?
Cleanup guru. Yes. Ask yourself, does this spark joy? And if it doesn't, either mute or unfollow or do whatever feels right for you. It can sometimes be difficult to unfollow friends, but you can also mute people on social media. And just give yourself a break. You deserve it.
That's very fair.
Yeah. Some very, very good advice.
Also, one of your friends is saying, shill the free ebook, Raven.
Oh, right. That's true. Thank you. I just remembered. It is true, though. I did write. I wrote an ebook in English as well, and in it I detail how you can make the first steps to make peace with food in your body. And you can download it for free on my website, and it also has my story detail, like what I went through, how I struggled, and how I overcame that. It's all in the ebook, so you can read that if you feel like it.
Cool.
I think you guys have a link to the website.
Yes, I have posted a link in the chat now. So anyone who's interested can go and check out bodypositiveliving.com/English. Because then you'll be taken to the English site.
Yeah. Awesome.
And if you're from the Netherlands, you can check out just bodypositiveliving.com.
Yep.
Very straightforward. And you also have Instagram accounts, both for the English and the Netherlands.
I do. Yeah, I don't post this often on the page, but it is still there, and you can still read it.
Yeah. So, anyone who's interested in the free ebook or your services can go check out the webpage and just read a little bit about it. And I mean, I think if you really want to create a better relationship between yourself and your body, and you don't think you can do it on your own, or you don't even know where to start, like talking to a coach could just be, you know, the kick in the butt you need to like get there.
It might just, it's just really nice to just talk about these things. A lot of my clients have never talked the struggles that they have before with someone, and it can be really freeing to just talk about it to someone who won't judge you, because I won't judge you, because I know what this is like. I have been through this.
Yes, you've lived it.
I would never judge you. I have lived this. I know what this is like, and it can be really freeing to talk about this stuff with someone who doesn't judge you for it and who actually knows what it's like, because it's, like I said before, it's not something we talk about a lot. I used to be very, very ashamed of all the issues that I had with food and with my body. So that part alone can be freeing, and people are always free to email me or message me or tell me your story. I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of answers the question of Joker's Funhouse videos about where to start.
Where to start. Start with Raven.
I mean, you could start with me. I would love that. But there are a lot of amazing body positivity accounts on Instagram. And there are a lot of people out there. There are fat people, queer people, people of all shapes and sizes and abilities and disabilities are out there talking about their bodies, talking about body positivity. If you search the hashtag, you will also find a lot of fitness stuff. But you can also see the accounts that I follow. There's a lot of them in there. And, look at as many different bodies as you can, because the more you see something, the more you start to normalize it.
Yeah, that's very, very clever and very smart. And also, like, if you don't, like, I think talking to, if you have like a friend or someone too, it helps a lot, because
don't do it alone.
A lot of the times we go around and have these thoughts in our heads and we think that it's only us. And when you open up to a friend or someone else, then sometimes they have experienced the exact same thing too.
Yeah, and it's you're not a failure for feeling this way. You're not a failure if you're not at peace with your body. You're not a failure if you struggle with food. This is not on you. It's not your fault. You're not a failure for struggling, and don't be afraid to talk to other people, because you're not alone.
No.
Frosthames also wonders, what about very thin people who get a lot of negativity? I hear fat a lot, but it isn't easy being skinny either.
No,
oh, totally.
Not. No.
I mostly talk from my own experience.
No, it's true.
Mostly
but yeah, body positivity goes in all directions, both from
tiny
to big. It's just
there's no gender or size on body positivity.
Yeah. But it's like the same thing about being short.
Yeah. We're all pretty short. I mean, one of the most one of the comments we get the most when we're at conventions are like, "Oh my God, you guys are so small! I thought you were taller." Like,
yeah, you don't say.
What can I tell you? The pictures lie.
Yeah.
No, but it's like taking the thing that is kind of maybe bothering you and making it into you and owning it yourself.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Kanuto had a comment earlier, which I'm going to read. She says, Kanuto story time. Kanuto has lived in a world where she likes her face, but believes, mainly she cosplays men because they feel there's less beauty pressure, and it has always been like this. But we went to a panel where they were talking about face shape, and my face shape came up. So I asked my friend later if it was true, and if so, did that mean I had a pretty face? And my friend almost laughed at me. My personal view is that I am a gray mouse. So...
You're talking about an awesome person. Don't be that mean to yourself.
To be fair, I think your face is gorgeous. Like, I have seen plenty of cosplay pictures of you, honey, and there's nothing wrong with your face.
Yeah.
But isn't that the thing, though? How you can have, 50 friends tell you that you're the most gorgeous goddess to ever walk the earth, but if you don't feel it...
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But as Kanuto said later in a comment, but after that convention, I feel like my confidence went up. I felt like it was okay to just try to own that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very glad that panel helped you. And,
that's awesome.
Feel better about yourself.
Yes.
We all have things.
Definitely.
Stuff, things, life.
Yes.
Stuff and things.
Life needs things to live.
Hashtag deep.
Yes, hashtag deep.
And besides, I think that the world would be much, less fun if everyone was the exact same, size, both height and...
Well, it would be easier to switch costumes with each other, that's for sure. Let's see. Frostheim says, is someone really going to come up to someone at a con with a measuring tape and be all like, you're too short / tall for this character? Maybe not with a measuring tape, but people definitely have no boundaries and will tell you, oh, you're too short, you're too skinny, you're too fat, you don't have big enough boobs for this characters. Both online and in person, it happens.
Oh, yeah.
People have no filters.
But luckily, that is like one person out of maybe 100 that does that.
Yeah.
So it's not very often. But it's just that we often remember the negative things more than we remember the positive ones.
For sure.
So
Rick Make Stuff says, only if you're cosplaying a stormtrooper at Frostheim's.
Oh, the shade of it all.
Yeah, no. GoldenEye also says, yeah, people will absolutely give you shit. No, so, very, very true.
Yes. Now I will ask the most important and difficult question.
Oh God. Okay.
If you were a fruit or a vegetable, which one would you be and why?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
This is an existential question.
You know, I know and I thought about this, and I couldn't come up with a satisfactory answer. I think I'm gonna say that I'm a pineapple because I'm relatively sweet, but sometimes I bite back.
I like it. I like it. Pineapples are good.
I mean, it's like pineapples are very divisive. I feel like people either love them or they really don't.
I mean, pineapple on pizza is just the best.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
So.
Pineapple on everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I eat pineapple in my tacos, so I mean.
Oh hell!
But don't you have like the thing? Because some people do have that. I have it too. That when I eat pineapple, it feels like parts of my tongue are being chewed off by it.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a little bit corrosive.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Like, the same thing with kiwi. If you eat too much of it, which is also one of my favorites. Which kiwi fruits are also like it's. I think it's fun if people are kiwi fruits because then you're fuzzy on the outside and kind of acidic and sweet on the inside.
My friends actually said you're a coconut, but they said you're hairy on the outside, but you're sweet on the inside. Aww,
yeah, we had someone answer exactly that. I think it was Sample herself, the person who actually came up with this question and made it an in-house question for the CosCast show.
It's a good question.
It is a good question.
And also, Goldeneye says that pineapple might remove your fingerprints.
Yeah.
So I'm good for crimes too.
Nice.
It's practical and delicious.
Oh, that's my new tagline.
Frostheim says, instant unfollow. Pineapple on pizza is disgusting.
Oh,
hey, that is your opinion.
Well, now Frostheim can unfollow or mute everyone who likes pineapple on pizza, so she doesn't have anything of that in her feed.
Bye. Bye, Felicia.
But there was a question up here that I actually thought a little bit interesting.
The one from Joker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If all of you could go back to the 11-year-old you, what would you say to make that person feel better?
Definitely, I'm gonna say it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. I don't know, 11-year-old me? I can't even remember who that person was anymore, to be honest. But I think I would just say, don't be afraid to be who you are and to be loud and to just think of yourself. Because a lot of the time, the things I do is that I am ashamed to be my loud self in general because I am loud and extra and a little bit over the top a lot. And I got bullied a lot for that. For being a weirdo, basically. I let it get to me over the years. So I'm so self-conscious. But I'm really working hard on not doing that and not postponing my needs and taking care of other people's needs all the time, or just being so focused on pleasing everyone around me that I forget to please myself. So I think that would be like, don't be afraid to put myself first is something I would say to 11-year-old me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you. How about you, Sunniva?
Don't be a fucking tryhard. Just relax. Yeah, that's it.
That's sound advice too.
Yeah. I think actually I would have told myself to follow my dreams.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I don't feel like I have done that.
Well, it's not too late.
I feel like it is.
But it isn't, though.
No, it never is.
You just have to, decide and do it.
Yeah, well, sadly, I'm even more of a coward.
Well, we'll have to work on that.
Raven is so... I mean, you're an inspiration because you're so brave following what you want to do. I'm not that brave at all. Like, no.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's super, super duper freaking scary. But a lot of the energy, I'm still not a very high energy person, but I do feel better, even though I'm scared a lot and it's terrifying a lot. In the long run, I do feel better. So there's no right time to make the jump. There is no right time to wait. I was like, it's just like you plug your nose and you jump and you just hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. That's the thing. Like,
that's
make up your
all
mind
it is.
and actually do it. Because if you wait for the opportune moment, that moment is
Never
going to
happen.
be there. Ever.
No. It's never gonna not be scary.
No. It's basically like trying to talk when me and Sunniva are talking. Like, if you sit and wait for your turn, it's never gonna happen. You just have to get in there.
I know it's too well. I know.
But you just have to open your mouth and you don't shut up, because that's what I do. I just open my mouth and I just talk until everyone else is silent, because I'm like, no, I'm gonna talk now, so be silent.
Take up space.
I kill you.
What about you, Raven? What would you tell your 11-year-old?
Well, I can relate a lot stuff that you guys mentioned. I think I would tell her that not everything people say about you is true.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily believe what people are telling you, and stay weird. Stick to your weird, because you're gonna find other people whose weird matches your weird.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take you a while, but you're gonna find that all the things that you hate about yourself right now are the things that are gonna be that are going to define you when you get older. They're going to be the things that you're the most proud of, or that you're going to recognize as the most you. So stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to be like the popular girls, and just do your thing. It'll get better. But it's going to take a while.
Yes. This has been our advice podcast. It's like, if my brother and me were a little bit more serious and all female. Sort of. Okay. We are on overtime as usual, but...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what else is new? So we're going to move into our very, very last segment of the evening, which is Geekery, where we just, for a few minutes, talk about the things we've read, watched, listened to, or played during the past week that we would like to recommend to others that made us feel good or just were a delight to watch. So, do we have anything we want to recommend? And if you can't think of anything, I will start. I watched AJ and the Queen on Netflix this week, which is a show about a little kid who lives on the street and who basically stows away in an RV, who belongs to a drag queen who's going on a cross America kind of club tour, and the queen is RuPaul. Or played by RuPaul. So in the show, RuPaul goes under the name Ruby Red. And it's camp, like everything that involves RuPaul, and really sweet. And it has a few like heartfelt moments where like, aw. So I can really recommend that. It's a fun show to watch. Made me happy.
Nice. I don't think I have watched anything. I can't remember if I have.
Well, have you played anything or read anything or studied for an exam? Like,
that doesn't make me feel good.
No, I don't. Well, Lucia Farah says that she just finished The Mandalorian today, and whoa, it's so good. So apparently that. I don't have the Disney streaming service, so I haven't seen The Mandalorian at all yet, but I'm really tempted because boy has the internet been blowing up with Baby Yodas for weeks.
Oh yeah. It has. I watched not this week, but the week before, I went to the movies, which I never do. And I watched a Norwegian movie. It's basically like a disaster movie, but it was really well made, and I was like, this isn't that bad. Like, it had its flaws, obviously, but it's that bad to be a Norwegian movie.
No tea, no shade.
No, just to explain, like, Norwegian movies has for many years, it's always been the same plot over and over and over and over again. Kind of is too, but still, at least they used actors that hasn't been seen that much in Norwegian films just yet, which Norwegian films always do. It's always the same actor. Like, we have one actor who plays in every movie.
Oh yeah, it's the same pool of 10 people.
Yeah,
that do every movie.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. But this movie actually has a lot of new people in it, so it was good. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything else, but I had a good time.
Ryudai says that Tonya got me hooked on Minecraft. Rick Make Stuff says, just spent a fortune on a new PC and the first game I played was Minecraft.
Ooh.
So a lot of people are playing that again. It's having a renaissance of sorts.
Come join my server.
I did. Because Tonya has been building so many amazing things in Minecraft. I last time me and Anita did a stream, the Witcher stream, I think I did a long rant about how amazing all Ryudai's stuff was.
Yeah.
I know, but Tonya has made like a castle and stuff, and I went into Minecraft just to check it out because I don't play it that much, and I went into one of the towers and I couldn't get the fuck down, and Tonya kept cheating on making it day and night and day and night, and I couldn't at that point be in the voice chat and tell Tonya, like, can you please stop making it day and night because I don't know how to turn on the texty text chat either. I was just standing there, like, the only way I know how to text is when it's night in Minecraft and you go to a bed and lay down, because then text opens. But Tonya kept cheating, so I could never get open the freaking text box, and I was stuck in that tower for like 3 or 4 days.
You guys are so cute. Frostheim says that she's been watching anime of the week, Astra, Lost in Space. Apparently it's a masterpiece. And Katrix has been watching The Rising of the Shield Hero, which is so cute.
Yes.
It's a sweet anime. Oh my god. And Ryudai, as always, also super excited for the return of Fateful Fumble. Beside that, I've actually fallen in love with Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun.
Nice.
Yeah, about that, Fateful Fumble. We will be doing our first live stream of our Dragon Age RPG podcast thing on the 7th of February, most likely. So you have been warned. Ryudai, especially, mark your calendar. You're going to want to watch this one. You've been waiting for it for forever. Seriously, you have to. No excuses.
Yes.
Okay, so that shameful plug over. A lot of people have been watching a lot of things, like The Witcher, obviously. Kanuto watched the 5 first episodes of The Witcher. There are too many. It's going too fast. Ryudai says Shield Hero is amazing. Raftalia is the best girl, says Frostheim. Ryudai Art says #Kaida will return. Finally, some dragons. Well, we'll see. All right. So, Raven, do you have anything you wanna share?
I can really recommend Post. It's on Netflix, and there's 2 seasons, and it's about drag culture in America, Black drag culture. And if you like drag queens now, or queer culture, you need to see this, because this is the origins of how a lot of things started and where a lot of phrases came from. And it's the cast is almost all Black, and a lot of awesome trans women are in there.
Yeah, I've seen Pose. It's a really good show. I really enjoyed it.
It broke my heart.
Yeah,
it's still breaking my heart, but it's really good.
I cried.
Yeah, same. So I've been loving that, and I actually JoJo Rabbit twice. I can recommend it. It's a very good movie.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about Jojo Rabbit.
It's good.
Sir Chunk says, ask Raven about Jojo Rabbit. You already
it's a good movie.
Did it yourself.
Go see it. Yeah.
Yes. Cece says, you forgot about Frozen 2.
I haven't seen it yet.
Haven't seen it. Also, have not been spoiled yet. I don't know what happens in that movie at all. I have no idea.
Okay, I won't. I've seen it, but I won't tell you guys.
Yeah, well, a lot of the kids at work has spoiled some things for me because all of them have seen it.
Yeah. Well, you work in a kindergarten, so you're bound to be spoiled.
You're screwed.
Apparently, there's a stone troll there. A big one.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no
Said
spoilers.
no
Don't
spoilers.
steal the feels!
Yes! I will steal!
Okay, muted and blocked.
See, there you go.
Yeah. Also, Joker's Funhouse says, ask Raven about D&D.
I thought you guys wanted to end the stream. If you're asking me about D&D, we're going to go
forever. Yeah, I know. We could talk about D&D and RPGs forever, too.
Yes.
We play it all the time, and we don't have that kind of time. I'm sure you have things to do with the rest of your evening. Yeah. But maybe we can invite you back for like a D&D stream one day where we just talk about D&D and RPGs and stuff. If anyone wants that, you can write that in the comments and just like say yes, and then we'll see if we can make it happen maybe one day. D&D. All right, so we're just gonna end this stream by saying thank you so much to Ravenstar for joining us. And go check out bodypositiveliving.com /English if you're English speaking, or at least Scandinavian or European or whatever. And just
if you don't speak Dutch.
Yeah, if you don't speak Dutch, this site is for you. Pretty much. And if you're Dutch, it's just bodypositiveliving.com. And also you can find Ravenstar at Ravenstar Cosplay on Instagram as well. And we will be back in 2 weeks with a new cosplay talk show. But in the meantime, we will be game streaming and live streaming and all of that good stuff too. So, follow to get updates on that. And we love you so much. Have a nice Sunday, and we hope you have a great week. Bye.